Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kingelffe, and today we're going to be talking about Dripstone and Pointed Dripstone from the 1.17 update that has recently dropped. So today is going to be our first entry in quite a while to the Minecraft Encyclopedia. Let's do this. First things first, we should probably talk about what Dripstone actually is. So Dripstone is a block that was introduced into the Minecraft 1.17 Caves and Cliffs Part 1 update. The main way to obtain Dripstone is supposed to be through the Dripstone Cave, but unfortunately that was bumped back to 1.18 in Part 2 of the Caves and Cliffs update, which will be coming out in December of 2021. But for the time being, there are still ways to get a hold of Dripstone in 1.17, so let's go over that. Dripstone as of 1.17 can be found in any cave, and this is naturally spawning, however it is a very rare chance. If you do manage to find some naturally spawning Dripstone, then it'll likely have pointed Dripstone growing off of it, whether it be from the floor or the ceiling of your cave. Now, right about now you may be thinking, oh well that kinda sucks if it's a rare drop only, but there are other ways to obtain it. The absolute easiest way for you to obtain Dripstone in 1.17 is going to be through trading, either with a wandering trader or a villager. If you want to go with the wandering trader route, then there's a small chance that they will be selling 2 pointed Dripstone for 1 emerald. On the flip side, you can also use a villager. A mason villager at the journeyman level has a 2 in 7 chance of selling 4 Dripstone blocks to you for 1 emerald. Dripstone blocks can also be crafted using 4 pointed Dripstone in a square formation. Alright, now that you know how to obtain Dripstone and pointed Dripstone, let's go over how you grow it, because this is a farmable resource in 1.17. And to understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to know the difference between 2 different words, stalactite and stalagmite. A stalactite, which is probably what you've seen in the Caves and Cliffs update so far, is a pointed Dripstone that is growing from the ceiling, and a stalagmite is a pointed Dripstone growing from the ground. But now that you know the difference between the two, let's move on to how you actually farm these resources. To grow pointed Dripstone, you need to have a stalactite growing from a Dripstone block. You can actually place pointed Dripstone on any block, but in order to farm it, it needs to be on a Dripstone block. Above the block that the stalactite is placed on, you need to have a water source block. If both of these conditions are met, then your stalactite will start growing. On top of that, if there's a solid block within 11 blocks directly below your stalactite, then a stalagmite will start growing from that block towards your stalactite. Hopefully you're still keeping up with this stalactite versus stalagmite thing. While you're farming stalactites and stalagmites, it's important to know that the max height of a stalactite or stalagmite is 7 blocks, and they cannot be waterlogged either. Even though they can naturally spawn in the water, they cannot grow if they are in water. Also worth mentioning, these farms are very, very, very slow. They only have a 0.01% chance of growth every tick, so you're going to be waiting a few days before you even get 1 stalactite or stalagmite from these guys. So don't be expecting to farm a couple stacks a day unless you have an absolutely massive farm. Alright, it's time for the fun part. You know how to obtain Dripstone, you know how to grow it, but how can you actually use it? So pointed Dripstone, or stalactites and stalagmites, have 2 primary uses in this game, and that's other than looking extremely cool because they do have a very unique shape and texture for this game. Let's talk about their first use, and that is damage, so making traps and mob traps and whatnot. So let's start with the stalactite, because they are gravity bound, which makes them really cool. So if the block above them is broken, then the stalactite will fall, and if anything is underneath that falling stalactite, well, I'm sure you can guess what's going to happen to that thing. So, damage for a falling stalactite is calculated based on the number of blocks that it falls before impacting its target. Every block it falls is equivalent to 2 health or 1 heart of damage, capping out at 40 damage or 20 hearts, meaning that a falling stalactite could be fatal for most entities in the game, including yourself. Also worth mentioning, if you throw a trident at the base of a stalactite, then that will break it and it will fall. But the same cannot be said for a bow if you shoot the stalactite. Now let's talk about the stalagmites, which can be equally, if not more deadly than the stalactites. Falling onto a stalagmite from higher than 1 block will inflict damage onto the falling player or mob, but unlike falling stalactites, there is no damage cap on falling onto a stalagmite, meaning that a drop from rolled height will even kill an iron golem. Except, wait a minute, he lived. Why did he live? That's because of another rule that I totally knew before recording that last scene. Entities that are immune to fall damage are also immune to stalagmite damage. Now, if you want to use this to your advantage, then there is a formula that you can use to figure out exactly how far you need to drop every mob or player to kill them. And that formula is fall distance times 2 minus 2. So assuming that the player or mob is not wearing any armor, then you can figure out exactly how far you need to drop them in order to kill them. Alright, now it's time to talk about my favorite use for pointed dripstone, and probably one of the best features added into 1.17. Basically, if you have a stalactite with a lava source directly above it, and there's a cauldron within 11 blocks below that source of the stalactite, then there's a 5.9% chance that every time the stalactite is ticked, you will get lava in that cauldron, which means that at long last, there's a renewable source of lava in the game. I've been playing Minecraft for 11 years now, and I've been waiting for this moment for ages. Like, seriously, I can't tell you how many times I've had to go down into my strip mine to find lava for my furnace or whatever I need to do with it. This revolutionizes the game. Now, with all that said, this process is still extremely slow, so you're going to need a pretty big lava making facility to make this worth it, but knowing what you know about obtaining and growing dripstone, it is definitely possible to do this. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything you need to know about dripstone and pointed dripstone. So I hope you guys learned enough to make some cool lava farms or dripstone farms, and if you do, then make sure to take a picture and post them on Twitter or something and at me so that I can see what you guys made with this knowledge. And I also made a entry into our encyclopedia here, so I chose the farming edition, and we went over today how to obtain dripstone through natural generation and trading, how to farm it, and what the difference between a stalagmite and a stalactite is, and also the different uses for dripstone, whether it be damage or farming lava. So, that is going to be all for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to drop a like on the video, and if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.